Welcome to a series of podcasts discussing series of films.
I'm Matt.
I'm Dave.
In a world inundated with prequels, sequels, spin-offs, and reboots, we ask the question,
Do we need one more? I think we do.
I think we don't.
Matt,
Dave?
have you had enough yet? We're 5 movies deep. How you feeling?
I am nowhere close to having enough. We are
I don't want to
hitting
spoil the
Yeah,
we
not to
need one more
spoil
question, but
the episode.
uh,
This series is hitting its stride.
it's hitting it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 4 is, again, you could argue is the best of the series.
Yeah.
3 is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Like
I would say, for those of you listening at home in your cars and watching us on YouTube and TikTok and all that, this is the Mission Impossible 5 Rogue Nation episode.
that's right.
And I think this one might be the most fun one.
It's really fun.
And the only reason I think it's the most fun one is because the drama of 4 and 6 actually gets me like hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I'm just like
Well, they both
popcorn,
deal
like,
with-
yeah.
They both deal with nuclear bombs. You know, nothing to be.
The threat of nuclear
Yeah.
chaos.
Nothing that I'm not currently freaking out about.
No, it's like this one has like huge stunts in it, but it's like I don't know why, but I'm more like yeah, I'm just like, which I'm doing in the other ones, but I'm also like like
This one, I
I'm
think
like SpongeBob filter feeding.
100%. In current photosynthesis. I think that's what we were talking a little bit about it off air, trying to withhold all of our thoughts on these movies that we love.
Yeah.
This, I think, unfortunately, kind of ends up being kind of the middle child of the series because it is
Even though it's the
sandwiched.
5th one.
Even though it's the 5th one,
Although technically, I think because Final Reckoning will be what number? Is that 8?
it'll be 8.
5, it almost is the middle one anyway.
Yeah, well, it's sandwiched in between Ghost Protocol and Fallout, which
Yeah.
are, you know,
The highest rated in the series.
inarguably the 2 best ones.
Yeah.
And so this being in the middle kind of makes it, like, for lack of a better word, underrated.
Yeah,
In
I
a
think
way?
it is super underrated in a
Overlooked?
way. But at the time, it was like they've done it again. Like
Yeah.
whatever they figured out in Protocol, they're doing it here again, even like better. And it's like I don't even know if even better, but like it's just the fun. We're still having a lot of fun with this, you know?
Yeah. Well, what is
So-
your memory of this movie coming out, or do you remember seeing it in the theater?
I did
Kind of
see it in
what's your
theaters.
Experience?
I literally just went and saw it by myself
Okay,
because
nice.
it was like that. My family had done like a trip. I was doing like a theater thing, so I had to come back early, and I was just like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna go see it."
Were you in that? We've talked about this before off air. Were you at the theater thing where were you? Was it in California?
Yeah, no, I was in California.
Okay,
It was
okay,
like
okay.
'cause my family just did like a thing like in Palm Desert.
Okay, okay.
So
yeah.
like it wasn't like that far of a drive, but I basically came back like 2 days early because I had like rehearsal later, and I just had like I had time to kill because I was just like there was no one
Sure.
home. Like it was just like
I mean, I think we can make it an official statement on this podcast. Going to the movies by yourself, good time.
good time. Yeah, I've
Fully
done it a lot,
endorsed.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
It's a very fun time. Except for when I saw the Lego Ninjago movie by myself. That's a story for another time.
Not to spoil that in the because maybe we'll do that later. But
The
do
Lego
you need one more?
Ninjago movie. You know.
Do you need one more piece by piece?
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but that trailer
We'll have to do all the Lego movies at some point.
that would actually be a ton of fun. And then I can tell my story of
Have you?
how I saw the Lego Ninjago movie at 11 a.m. by myself at the Universal City Walk.
It was a matinee.
I was alone in that theater.
That's so funny. No, have you heard the story of like why they're doing like these like series with the Lego movies?
Well, I know why they're not making sequels to the original Lego movie.
Yeah, basically it goes hand in hand.
Yes.
So okay, for those of you who don't know, like they're doing like a Feral biopic with Legos, and I think at this point this is coming out like this has long come out already, but
Yeah.
I think they're doing like another one related. I don't remember.
Well, I don't know if I think they were developing one. I don't know if they're currently
I know
developing
they did the Feral one, which is I think
or Pharrell.
Pharrell. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. At first, I thought it was
Pharrell.
like a Will Ferrell biopic in Lego. That would actually be
I
pretty
actually
good.
should just think about
That's
doing
pretty
that.
good. And I like Pharrell. Like
And Will
honestly,
Ferrell's
like
in the first Lego movie.
That's
I
true.
never saw it too, but
I'm into Pharrell being like it should be Lego because like fuck
Yeah.
it, why not?
Yeah.
Biopics are
yeah. But,
dime a dozen.
yeah,
like, let's
basically-
have some fun with it.
Warner Brothers had the rights to make the movies. They invented a bunch of characters like Emmett and
Yeah.
Unikitty and all that stuff. And when the rights for doing a Lego movie expired, the character rights stayed with Warner Brothers. So
Yeah.
like all because Universal picked it up.
Universal
and the only
has-
thing they basically picked up was the ability to do something with the Lego
Yeah,
genre,
yeah.
not the character storylines that have
The
been set up. They
medium
didn't buy it
Of
apparently.
Lego.
And I'm sure whoever fumbled that purchase
Oh yeah.
like got fired.
Some asterisk line.
I
that
hope
they
you're doing
missed.
all right. I would have made that mistake.
Um,
That's not me. That's like a boneheaded mistake because I would have been like,
no,
I totally thought we got the rights on that.
that's totally something that I would look
But
at.
yeah,
And be
and
like,
so like
"Fuck."
they went, well, maybe we do a music biopic
Hey,
with Legos.
valid.
And I'm like, that's so weird that they're gonna be like, let's do the weird thing for a kids movie.
Hey, I am all for studios doing a weird thing.
I'm here for weird things.
Yeah.
I'm actually here to encourage it. I'm just surprised.
Yeah. Oh, same. I just remember being like, "Whoa, what?"
Like you could have done anything and you just okay, yeah,
All right,
I'm
yeah,
here
go for it. Let's do it.
Fuck it, let's do it.
But that's a conversation for another time when we cover the Lego movies.
yes, because this is not the Lego Pharrell
No.
biopic
no.
that we're talking about.
It's Mission Impossible, baby.
Rogue Nation.
That's right. But so okay, so you
This
saw the
time
movie by yourself.
I saw it by myself, and I remember thinking, like, it was just so much fun that I
Yeah.
almost like thought about buying another ticket and just rewatching it again.
Valid.
I was pretty broke, so I was like, I'm gonna have to
Just ride
skip
this
it,
high
but I'm
for
gonna
as long
ride
as
this
I
high as
can.
long as I can. But no, I thought it was so much freaking fun. And it was just fun because there wasn't that many people in the theater, but everyone was like gasping in all the same spots. Like,
Yep,
so
yeah,
just
yeah.
get quite, like,
That was my experience. I saw this. Well, I remember the marketing because they were really hyping up the plane stunt for obvious reasons because
Yeah,
it's
well, 'cause-
deeply impressive.
yeah, Ghost Protocol had the advantage of marketing the tallest building in the world. Stunt.
Yeah. So
And
they
that
get
was
to
the
be
first
like-
time they were like, these stunts are really cool, right? And
Yeah, they
then
go,
this
"Oh,
one they
this
were
is the
like
thing."
all in, all stunts, all real.
Yeah, so like I remember watching all the YouTube videos before the movie came out that they were like, he's doing this for real, he's doing this for real. And then I was on vacation with my high school girlfriend and her family, and it was like an off day, we didn't have anything planned or whatever. And so we went to go to the movies, and we went to a movie theater in a mall, and we saw Rogue Nation,
Hell
and
yeah.
we walked out, and I just remember being like, that movie fucking rules. And
It's
I was
so
like,
cool.
I'm sure I was like 16 or something like that, and I'm sure her parents were like, what are we getting into with this girl dating this guy? Because I was like jumping around the mall being like, oh my god, like freaking out.
You're like on a shopping cart, like
Yeah, literally. I was like, oh my god. And then when he goes underwater, blah 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 blah. And
in the fish tank section at Walmart.
I remember bringing up the plane. I was a very apparently normal and chill teenager because
Were we
I-
friends yet? This is 2015. When did we start
yeah,
hanging out?
we
I
were
think
friends.
we did, yeah.
Yeah, I was going
I
into
know
my
you
junior
were friends
year.
with like Connor, I think.
Yeah,
Connor,
think
my
we were-
brother, but like I don't remember if you and I were like
we were new,
actively like all hanging out as like a group yet.
I don't think we were actively hanging out, but we were new friends.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was in I mean,
Fun.
there was a whole relationship. We're not going to get into it on the podcast, but
Yeah.
but I remember watching the movie, coming out and talking about how good it was, and talking about the plane stunt, and being like, "Oh my god, I can't believe blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
And her dad being like, "Well, that wasn't real." And I just remember being 16, and again, like I said, very normal and chill teenager, looking at my high school girlfriend's father, and I went,
like,
"You're wrong."
You're an idiot.
I literally was like, "No."
You're an idiot.
I was like, "Hey, listen."
he had contacts that covered his entire eyeballs. He had a rig.
No,
They were scared of bird strikes.
I literally
story.
was like,
They were
"That is
scared
true."
of bird strikes.
I said, "No, you're wrong." And he said, "What are you talking about?" And he was like surprised that I was like, because I was such a quiet kid and quiet adult to this day.
And that was like the loudest you had been the whole time.
Yeah, literally, I was like, "Hey!" like
you no cutting, like,
and I
the authority of like a bouncer.
No, this is why
You're
I
about
say
to eject him from the theater.
I sat.
You will not disrespect these hallowed grounds.
I can't
This
believe
man
I
almost
did this.
killed himself for cinema.
I sat them down in the food court. And I was like, I showed them the behind the scenes. I literally was like, no, this was real. And I was like so desperate to show them how cool Tom Cruise was that I remember sitting outside of like a Subway, like in this mall, and having them watch it on my phone, which was like a Droid 3 or something like that. and watching.
It was an iTouch.
Yes, I was like, I pulled
a
up
second-hand one.
my Zune and I was showing them. But I showed them the thing, and he was like, "Huh, I guess that was real." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's the coolest movie star in the world.
Yeah, you're like, now admit it, or the bomb goes off.
Yeah.
Your daughter is wearing a vest that has a pressure plate.
He turned and looked at me, and I was Solomon
and
Lane
an 8-digit code
with the little glasses and the tight haircut, and I was just like staring at him with.
You're
the
at the
eyes of-
Chipotle getting like your food order, and you're also doing the monologue.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm telling you that he did this stunt for real," or whatever.
Now admit it, he's the greatest movie star who's ever lived.
But yeah, I just remember being like, no, you need to understand that Tom Cruise almost killed himself for you 20 minutes ago. And it worked. And, I'd like to issue my formal and public apology for
threatening.
for doing that. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this movie was so much
really
fun.
No, this movie's so much fun. We should probably jump into the plot, but like out of the gate, do you have like a favorite stunt from this one?
I mean, it's the plane stunt.
Is it the plane stunt?
It is the plane stunt, I think.
I love the plane stunt. I think it's so cool. But that whole motorcycle chase is so freaking awesome.
Actually, I
no helmet, snakeskin dress shirt. I don't know what that choice was, but it's awesome because you could very quickly. This is like a choice of like, oh hey, we've got all these like leather clad motorcycle riders in black, and then like, which one's Tom Cruise?
And
that one.
Red snakeskin button up.
The one having a midlife crisis, maybe.
I think we should just establish real quick. Tom Cruise, newfound member of my little guy in sunglasses club.
Yes.
I watched it and I was like, with love to him, Short King, recognize Short King.
It's a Joe Cool situation.
It's a joke. He put those shades on, which he's done in other movies, but it didn't click until watching this.
Benji's not a... Simon Pegg is probably not a short person, but
I put him in there.
He feels like a little guy in
They're
like the
heights,
best way. But I'm like, he gets some cool glasses, some like Kingsman style glasses when he goes to the opera.
Yes. No.
Do we count that?
Well, he does.
Man in glasses.
Look, they've got shades on the poster. If they're, I would say,
this is true. They do have shades on the poster.
5'8" or 5'9" and below, you're a member of the Short King Club.
The cover for the Spotify should just be us in shades, but like in the pose.
Get out of here, dude. I'm into it. I was gonna say the plane stunt I guess is the big one, but actually I take that back. There is a specific stunt that is my favorite stunt because it's so effortless.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it now, or you want to save it?
It's
for when
coming
it comes
up.
up?
We'll get to it.
Okay. We'll talk about it when we get there.
But we do jump right into.
We basically do. It's kind of crazy that the big stunt of this movie is like in the first 5 minutes.
It's in the first
this one.
I clocked it.
What's the
5
time
minutes
code?
in.
5 minutes in,
Yeah.
actually. That's
We're
wild.
at the your mission. Should you choose to accept it at like 6:30. So
Yeah.
we're like 4 or 5 minutes into the movie, and we already are at the plane stunt.
Yeah. So how do you? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say originally supposed to be later in the movie, and then they decided,
Really?
yeah, it was supposed to be later, and then they decided to put it up front.
That's well. I mean, I think it ultimately works. I thought it was such a weird choice when the movie started. It was like I was like,
especially
I'm
because
like, that's the plane. I was like, they marketed the hell out of
Yeah.
him hanging off that plane, and it's like the movie starts and it's like, Benji, where's the plane? Like, and you're just like, oh, we're doing it now.
Not in the plane, on the plane. Great line.
Yeah.
A few. I mean, this series, no stranger
Yeah.
to great lines, but like
No.
this has a couple of them.
Yeah.
What were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say, I guess we should just jump into the plot. I guess
Yeah.
was what I was gonna say, but yeah, just my first note is just the movie starts. It comes out strong with the theme song like right away.
Yep.
Which I don't know that the other movies have done. They always have like sort of a. We're gonna drop in with no music. Yeah, we're gonna tease it out a little bit. But this one like starts like the Paramount logo's coming. It's like dum dum dun dun, and you're just like, yeah.
Well, it feels like it's like we're kind of already we're like doing, we've talked about James Bond in this kind of series about the Mission Impossible movies already,
Mhm.
but it is a little Bondian of like we're in the middle of a mission already. Even though it is connected to the larger story,
Yes.
he's tracking down the syndicate, build
Mhm.
off from the last line of the fourth movie. This is
Yes.
now the first time that like we've become serialized.
Yes, and the
Um,
Syndicate was actually the bad guys in the TV show,
yeah,
which is fun that after 5 movies, they're finally like, we're gonna do like their actual villains,
which
which is kind of crazy, like when like Batman and Spider-Man, like they all come out immediately with their rogues gallery.
Green
And it's
Goblin,
crazy that they
Joker,
did
Lex
not start
Luthor.
with it. They're like, we're not gonna save that, and like
no.
now they're like, yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think I think Mission Impossible 2 kind of does the the evil versions a little
Yeah,
bit.
they do the evil Ethan Hunt, but I feel like
I think it's better in this.
I think it is better.
I'm
in this
gonna
one.
say
It
that
just
flat
is.
out. But yeah,
With love to Dougray School.
yes.
I feel like I don't know. That felt like offensive somehow. Was that bad?
It's all right. You want to take it again?
Dougray Scott.
There you go.
His
but,
name's so ripe for the accent, though.
I mean,
But is that it feels patronizing? So I just feel bad.
it's all right. I mean, we just released the Fantastic Four episode not too long ago, when we're recording this, and we do call out, the Welsh accent, which I am Welsh.
We
so
do
I guess
call
maybe,
that a one part. Well, is he Scottish? I'm not Scottish.
I don't know.
I'm not allowed to do that. I'd like to formally apologize to the People's Republic of Ireland.
So the plane stunt.
The plane stunt.
He's not in the plane. He's
No,
on the plane.
He's
That's very important.
Man
to
on
know.
a plane. Fun fact: the suit he wears is a reference to North by Northwest.
That's killer. That's awesome.
It's
10
the
out of 10.
exact same suit, apparently. Not
Hell
like
yeah.
like the actual one from the
Sure,
movie, but
but-
it's a replica.
Yeah.
That they bought. But that is there.
I love the way he gets sucked into the plane.
That apparently because they had to shoot part of him getting like thrown around, and apparently he did like hit the wall really hardly.
Jesus
And
Christ.
then they had to do it like 3 more times or something, and they were like he literally did the like cut, and he's like, "Did we get it?" Like kind of.
Something I think also to kind of set the basis for this movie as we continue on in the plot
Yes.
and our discussion.
As we ask the question of one more.
That's true. Which, hey, who knows if they made another one of these?
Yeah.
I guess we're about to
Wow,
find out
don't
and
know.
discover.
We're gonna discover.
Simon Pegg, kind of the emotional core of this movie,
He really is.
which I really like.
Yeah, he's kind of like the humanity of really just the minute he showed up, like he's become like the humanity of it all.
Well, I also think like, Ethan, as we've talked about, is at his best when he is caring. He's a man defined by how he cares for his friends.
Yes.
And I think this is like the first one, not that because like Luther obviously has been his friend for the whole
time.
series now,
Yeah.
but this is the moment where
Ving is king.
watch Ving is king.
Ving
100%.
is king.
But this is the
That's the clip for the social media.
I'm making a note. We're putting it in.
It's gonna be hyping up Ving.
What's up, TikTok? But Simon Pegg, it's the first moment where a member of his team looks at him, or at least that I can think of, looks at him and says, "I care about you."
Yeah.
And it's that like him,
Yeah.
Ethan realizing that he has people that care for him just as much. You know
Yeah,
what
it's
I
like
mean?
it's like no, you are my family now, like
Yeah.
kind of thing. Which is kind of like I was gonna say there's that scene like basically, I think it's after the opera.
Yeah.
But he just like yells at him like, "No, I'm here. Like
Yeah.
you can't get rid of me.
You don't get
can't
to-
tell me to go."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, how many people get to yell at Tom Cruise like that?"
No. And again, Pegg and Cruise are so good together.
They're really good. They have a really good dynamic.
They slot in really well together. And so
do.
making Benji kind of the emotional stake, the emotional
Yeah.
stakes, especially near the end.
Yeah, which was
Uh,
apparently set up in the rewrites for the previous movie, which I don't remember if we mentioned. But when
We mentioned a little bit of the rewrites.
when McHugh came on to like rewrite the fourth one, that was his big suggestion was like, no, they have like a father-son sort of dynamic, but like teacher protege kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like we should like lean into that. And then in this one, it's like even hammered home of like, no, that's his son.
Yeah, honestly, they are like blood
or at least like
related
a
at this
younger
point.
brother.
Yeah, I've always seen it as kind of brotherly, or like
Yeah.
it's
very, very brotherly best friend.
or like a Batman Nightwing.
It really
as
is.
opposed to like a Batman and Robin. kind of
it's
thing.
like a real partners kind of
Hell
pull
yes.
him out of the sand.
Yeah, where he's like, like
And Solomon Lane's like, "Why won't you die?"
Oh, that's pretty good. But yeah, I think it's nice that we kind of jump right into a mission, and then we basically go,
Yeah.
"Hey, by the way, we're like running you into kind of a rhythm, and then we're
Yeah.
instantly going to take it away with the IMF being disbanded.
Like right away.
Yeah,
Again,
instantly.
Another. We're going to have to go ghost, go rogue.
Oh
if
yeah,
you will.
and we bring on Alec Baldwin.
We bring on Boss Baby.
That's right, the Boss Baby himself, notoriously chill dude, Alec
Notorious
Baldwin.
chill dude.
I will say, he's a great addition to these movies.
He's such a great addition.
He's
to
a
this.
great.
He's so good at just being like, I'm the CIA. You listen to me.
He specifically, he's doing his like 30 Rock thing, like his
kind
Jack
of is.
Donahue kind of inflection.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Jeremy Renner for just developing an ulcer the entire movie because of Ethan Hunt antics.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Brant's just like, Ethan, no, and Ethan's like, yes.
Renner is good in these
He's
movies,
so good.
man.
I was watching the because I have the Blu-ray for this, not to brag.
Hell yeah. Physical
Everyone's like,
media?
we're on a 4K. Physical media rules.
Yes.
And I'm a big supporter of it.
Yes.
But I was listening to the director's commentary, and it's McHugh and Tom Cruise talking through it. And apparently, every time there's a laugh line from Jeremy Renner, it's because he's improvising. And, like, that's not something McHugh wrote, but like they were allowed to improvise, I guess. And every joke that Renner has is a Renner original.
Well, hey, he's nailing it. That because I like it. It's a shame that
I can neither confirm nor deny without the secretary's approval.
That is such a good ongoing joke. It is a bummer that he doesn't return or has yet to return. Obviously, the Final Reckoning at this time of recording has not come out yet.
Nope.
And
apparently he does have one more. He's got one more picture in his contract. He's got one more.
Because, like, Ethan, Brandt...
We'll do an Indiana Jones. We'll save it Spielberg style. We'll wait 20 years.
Oh, my God. I would love to see him
and then
back.
We'll hold his feet to the fire.
Well, because I think, we've talked about the teams in every one of these movies.
True.
And I think Ethan, Benji, Luther, Ilsa, and Brandt is kind of like the best one.
It's like the Bulls in the 90s.
Yeah, I was like we found them.
They're like, no, Chicago Bulls, they're nothing but championships left and right.
Yeah, and not to say that there aren't future great additions. We'll talk about them in Dead Reckoning. But like when we're watching them all like later in the movie collaborate and discuss, I'm like, yeah, man, this is the rhythm. This is what I'm talking about. This is like good stuff.
It's good soup.
But yeah, the IMF being disbanded and also swapping your mission should you choose to accept it.
Yeah,
I think is great. Making it the Syndicate.
Yeah,
I think is very very.
They're
fun.
giving him like an ultimatum to figure it out, which is the challenge of it all too. Is like so fun that Solomon Lane is just like, no, yeah, like let's do this.
Yeah,
like this is a game for me. I'm
that poor
so
girl
much smarter
in the
than
record store.
I know.
She gets such a nice moment to be like, "It's really you." And then,
she's like, "I didn't think you were real." He's like the Batman. You know, he's like a ghost in the wind.
I couldn't
the
help
living manifestation of destiny.
As an actor watching it, I was like, man, that would be the best role to have. To get to have a little scene with Tom Cruise to be like, "You're really the man, huh?" And then be killed by the main villain. Like
fucking cool, right?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize you're that guy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And then to die.
Yeah.
Although, can we talk about how sick that record store is?
Really cool.
It's like the coolest record store I've ever seen. And I think it's a set, which makes me sad, but someone should make one that looks like that. The brick walls, the vinyl.
When we get a studio, we should just redesign it so it's exactly the dimension. It just looks like that.
Yeah. No, that'd be pretty sick. But also, the vinyl has the mission like recorder, apparently as a nod to the first episode of the show. That's how they give the first mission ever.
That's great. Love that.
So they're finally doing like a full throwback to the original show.
That's cool, especially bringing in the Syndicate.
Especially bringing the Syndicate's
kind of
really cool.
Reference.
But I also think like that might be, I think it's a toss up between that and then the Kodak camera from 3 as my favorite vestibule for or conduit for the mission, I guess.
I don't know if we talked about the camera in the episode for 3.
I don't know if we did, but I think it's really cool. Just the yellow Kodak, like, scanning his eye.
They're all, every time when they're like, oh, I'm looking for some, I'm looking for jazz, and it's like, I prefer classical or whatever. I'm like, dude, spies are so cool, man. This is my stuff.
This is the shit I live for.
I love seeing them be like, we're 2 spies, but we can't talk about it. We're 2 spies. No one's in the room.
No one else is here. Although you actually can see when he first enters that record store, you can see Solomon Lane in the booth in the back.
Killer.
But because no one knows who he is.
How do we feel about Solomon Lane as an antagonist?
I think he is a strong candidate for one of the best villains I've ever had, but not because of this movie.
Yeah, I think in 6 they bring him home.
6 he really... I think he does a really good job of being a great villain in this one. But he is just very like... like it's kind of like Darth Sidious-y, like I'm just kind of floating and standing and
A little bit.
monologuing a little bit, but like the fact that he kind of gets pretty close to killing Benji,
Yeah.
and like I think he does a really good job of like making the stakes really real in the way that like Philip Seymour Hoffman does.
Yeah,
But
totally.
I don't know that he gets quite the same play in this one.
Well, he has a line when he's speaking to Rebecca Ferguson, who we'll discuss in a little bit. And he says that when he was an agent, he was killing to keep things the same, and now he wants to kill to make things change. And I
Yeah.
was like, I would be interested to explore that side of that
Yeah.
a little bit more, to really understand like the psychology of this guy, because he is also so intellectual. He's the he's the most I'm 8 steps ahead
Yeah,
of
he's
you.
got that like calendar man, clock king kind of.
He is. They're kind of doing a Joker
Statistics. I know your every move.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
100. Well, I mean, at the
I can read you like a picture book.
there's at the end where it's like, I anticipated every moment up into this, and Tom Cruise is like, well, I anticipated every moment.
I
up to-"
anticipated
and they
harder.
just keep like ping ponging back to each other.
And they're like impossible, and he's like, so you heard the name of the movie?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's like I like him. I think the performance is really good. Sean Harris, right,
Sean
I
Harris,
believe,
yeah,
is very
As
good.
Solomon Lane.
I think
Although
he's-
I heard it wrong when I was writing down my notes, so I wrote down Solomon Lang with a G for
Oh.
most of my notes.
hey, that's
And then I
okay.
saw it. I turned the subtitles on later and was like, oh,
Solomon Grundy, born on a
Whoops.
Monday.
Yes.
But yeah, I think he's good. I do agree. I think he's better in Fallout.
yeah. I will say another contender for just a great villain is the Bone Doctor.
Dude, I literally have a
Not
note
to jump ahead, but
that just says big fan of the Bone Doctor.
big fan. Apparently, that guy for his audition set up like a fake thing and all these like fake tools and power tools and did like the whole thing with like really
Oh,
dynamic
shit.
lighting, and they were like, this guy fucking like came so hard, and we just like the idea of the Bone Doctor, that his character was supposed to die in that like escape, and they brought him back for like more.
It's great.
They
I
were
think
just
he's
like, that
great
guy's fun, and
as
they're
like a second or maybe a third antagonist. I think
kind of
Ferguson, you could maybe make an argument, is kind of an antagonist.
She kind
not a
of
villain,
is an antagonist,
but
but
she's
like she's so like part of it, like running around and complicating everything, that he is like third villain. But he doesn't have like a lot of play. But
No.
that name is too sick to not. He gets extra points for the name.
yeah. Which okay, getting into this, I do want to bring up before we bring up Rebecca Ferguson, who gets her introduction in this scene.
Yes.
I will just call out, this is where my favorite stunt of the movie is.
Oh, is it the pole?
It's the pole.
The
thing.
pole is the most underrated stunt, because like how the hell do you actually do that in real life?
It like every time it happens. Also, Cruise looks great in this movie. Can I just say that when he's like that,
He's
I was
the coolest.
like, damn, dude,
Yeah.
you like he's always in
There's
good
like a
shape.
shot that's like through his bicep, and I was like, that's.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, when he like, you know, I don't even know how to describe the pole stunt. He like
yeah, he like inchworms
yeah, he
up it.
inches
He's
himself
just
like
like
You
It's
look
like
at him and
he's
you're
like
like-
a video game character. It's like some like
he like
Legend
Jar
of
Jar Binks
Zelda.
double
Yeah,
jumps.
he's like the Tom Cruise character in the Lego version can
Yes.
just double jump. That's his ability.
But like when he does it, I mean, you're like, yeah, I buy that this guy
Yeah.
is able to do that. And when
It's
he,
like real Legend of Zelda, like like
literally,
up,
he like
up the ladder.
he like anti Mario's it. He like goes up.
It's like, Wah!
And when he leaps off, our producer is watching.
He's
this
watching the
stunt
clips.
right now.
No, it's awesome. It's the coolest thing. And
It's
you're just like
effortless.
effort, and
makes
he
it
just
look
actually
effortless.
does it. Like I don't know if he had like a wire for safety purposes or not, because I couldn't.
I'm sure
find that in the
maybe there was
BTS, but-
some. I mean, you
I don't
know,
even know like how that would help him. You know.
oh,
I mean, I guess it would just stop him from like landing on his neck if he screws it up. But
it's my favorite. I think
Yeah.
just because it's so we're also because Rebecca Ferguson is
Yeah.
kicking all kinds of ass.
Yeah.
We're kind of jumping back to her, and it's like, oh, by the way, Ethan is also doing one of the coolest things you've
yeah,
seen.
they're like,
Like-
but don't worry.
Like two people just literally being the coolest individuals.
No,
you've ever
Rebecca
seen.
Ferguson comes in swinging with like is like the perfect audition for taking over as Black Widow.
A little bit.
It like if they ever like had to reboot, it's like that would have been like a different choice that would have worked really well.
Well, okay, so talking about Rebecca Ferguson, right? So we've discussed on the previous episodes that with all the love to the actors who have played these roles,
Yes.
the female characters in these movies have always
Very
been
underdeveloped.
underdeveloped and lackluster.
Yes.
I was thinking about what makes Ferguson work or stand out, you know what I mean, amongst the other ones.
Yeah.
And I think it's a couple things. This is my theory. I'm going to posit this to you.
Hit me.
Um,
Not actually. Don't hit me.
I'm like, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm
The
glad
trauma set in.
glad we cleared that up. Dum, 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 dum. But okay, first things first. I think making her a adversary and colleague, that
Yes.
she's a peer, right? I think a lot of the times they tend to slot these women as like, well, it's like we have a girl on the team, and then they just kind of exist in that
They're just there.
form of like waiting for Ethan to do that. We like Emmanuel Bayard and
Yeah.
Tandy Newton and all this other stuff, that they're kind of just waiting for Ethan to do the other stuff. That
Yeah. And meanwhile, she's like actively driving the plot.
she is independent of the team, and
Yeah.
and she obviously becomes a part of the team later, and I think she
Yeah.
still functions in that respect. But I think making her a colleague of Ethan and allowing her to stand independently, I think, is a good choice.
I think it's a great choice.
I think the character that herself, Ilsa Faust, so they are leaning into, I think, the femme fatale archetype, right?
Yes.
There's some like pseudo noir, elements in this movie, I think.
Yeah.
And I think her is a little bit. And while the character itself is maybe not, they give her a little bit of a backstory, right? She's MI6, blah, 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 blah. She maybe isn't super three-dimensional, but also Ethan maybe isn't the most three-dimensional. What I think...
No, not technically, I guess. Yeah.
In the sense of like, you know what I mean? Like you can...
It just shows up like, I'm the greatest spy in the world, kind of.
What I think really works...
It's a little bit like the James Bond thing, I think. It's like, I'm here.
The Bond thing, my reference point is Han Solo. Han Solo is the rogue smuggler. That's an archetype.
Yeah.
We've done that plenty of times before. We'll continue to do it. And I think what makes that role a movie star role, I'll talk specifically in Han Solo's case, that I think works for Ethan and Ilsa, is you set a strong archetype, one that is identifiable and that we can recognize, and you allow the movie star themselves to like basically inject their persona into that archetype.
That
right?
is a great point.
Cruise is a deeply, and I say this with love, what we talked about in Mission Impossible 3, Bill McGuire, William Francis McGuire, who worked with him, is like, he is very professional, he's very kind, he's very focused, right?
Very focused.
And Cruise's focus that he brings to Ethan, which is, and I say this again with love, the archetype of the, kind of devil may care, but also deeply in emotional spy. You know what I mean? Like he cares about his friends. He has a lot of, I don't want to use the word basic, but clear qualities. And then Cruise injects his persona into that character.
It just like projects it onto it.
Exactly. And I think then it kind of, kind of
fleshes it out somehow.
They build each other up at the same time. And I think it's a similar thing with Rebecca Ferguson, that she
I would agree with that.
Is such a strong on-screen persona, and because she's able to take that femme fatale archetype
and then like go toe-to-toe with one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
Go toe-to-toe, make her own. There's a moment later in the movie where they slide on a car at the exact same time, and I was like, we're telling you, these people are equals. Yeah. And we also don't do the cliche of like giving her another woman to fight. Yeah. She gets to fight the Bone Doctor, which I love. Like, I think that's so great. But I think mainly those two things. I think allowing her to be her own entity. Yeah. She's got her own like thing going on too. It's not like, let's save the world. It's like, no, I have to do this or I die. Yes, she has her own clear
she's fighting
goals.
for her life this like whole movie.
We have a bit of a subplot of her doing all that stuff, right? And Ethan being the protagonist obviously maybe lends into that. But I think she's also not talked down to. No. There's no like moment where the movie, even if they don't think they're directly doing it with the other ones, there is this kind of like, you're over here with a lot of the other female characters.
You're gonna be put in like a nice little box and you're gonna sit there. Yeah. And then we're gonna go do all the cool stuff.
And then when we need you, we'll pull you out or whatever. Yeah. And Ilsa is not does not fall into that, which I think is very helpful.
I think it's very helpful, very fun. She's such a great ad.
She's a great ad. It's kind of like what we talked about with Ving and Simon Pegg, where it's like, when she's in there, you can feel the movie click. You're like, okay, cool. We found a new person who's in addition to this series.
I was gonna say, with her character, Tom Cruise has like said this a lot, I guess, when they were making it. But this movie is very boy meets girl.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like a date movie essentially.
It really is also the first time, even
But
though
with the car chases and explosions, like
yeah, well, even like he kind of is in a situationship, I suppose, with Tandy Newton. He's married to Michelle Monaghan at one point.
Yeah.
But this one really feels like it takes the time to build these two as like
they go on a date. They go to the opera together.
connection, but it's also like a very game recognized game.
Yeah, I like that when he gets off the pole and they break everyone down, and he's like, "I don't know you, right?" Like,
yeah, he's like, well, "How are we? Wait, okay, what's going on?"
So like, what's you just helped me? What's going on?
Yeah.
He does that great run out the hallway with the bullets flying.
Yes, love that.
Bone Doctor's a terrible marksman, so he's gonna be dock points.
Yeah,
in terms of great villain.
They all follow the stormtrooper way, where they just only
they're like
only hit the people that are not plot important.
Yeah,
that's okay.
We should make a parody though, where it's just people being like, "Get him," and then they shoot like straight to the left. They don't aim. They're just like,
they're just firing into the sky.
They're like, Yahoo!
They're just opening the clip and just emptying the bullets, and
they're like, "I missed."
Yeah, they're Danny DeVito, like just like
bang 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 bang, click 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 click,
start
click,
blasting. But yeah, I think that's where Ferguson is really able to shine, and they allow her the space to be like,
yeah,
hey, because this also, she's been doing stuff before, but this is the first real time that I saw her, and I remember walking out and being like, who the fuck was that? Like, I was that, oh my god, like,
I was like, new movie crush. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
She's great in Dune. You know what else she's good in? She's pretty good in The Greatest Showman.
She is pretty good in The Greatest Showman. I have like mixed feelings about that movie, but
so do I.
They're pretty good in that movie.
It's also objectively the greatest show.
That is true.
I sat down in that theater and I said, wait a second, I just realized that this was in fact the moment I've been waiting for.
Dun, dun.
Hugh Jackman rides a CGI elephant to a bank at the end of the movie. I don't remember. But it's a fun time.
Yeah, I think he wears a top hat. I think that's what he does in the movie.
Oh, he certainly wears a top hat. And it is passed with the reverence of like the Captain America shield to Zac Efron at the
Is
end.
it really? I don't remember that part. Shit.
When he gets it, it's this whole moment. It's the greatest show
on Earth.
Yeah, apparently.
Dun, dun, dun,
P.T.
dun.
Barnum, also famously normal and chill guy, as that movie
normal
posits.
and chill. Not problematic at all.
No. Okay.
Alec Baldwin.
Yes. Alec Baldwin.
Nice segue, right? Yeah.
Yes, wonderful addition. We've talked about great lines describing Ethan. We haven't gotten to the moment.
Yes, we should probably look that one up if we haven't already.
There is a moment where he describes, this is right after this, right?
Yeah.
That it's like,
yeah, because they make the escape, and then he calls
Brant,
and they do a great throwback to the first movie where when the team dies, he does the phone call, and it's the exact same dialogue.
I love that.
It's the exact same scenario, basically. But
yeah.
Not to interrupt, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I think it's so fun.
It's great. Like, and seeing Brant be like, like, oh, hey, let's not have this conversation. The IMF is gone. The IMF is gone. Like, he's like, wait, Ethan, stop. But
he's like, the less you tell me, the more trouble I'll get in.
Like, all that's great. I love Renner just being so smug to Baldwin.
Oh yeah.
But a great way, obviously he's incorrect in his assessment of Ethan Hunt in the beginning, but he describes him as both arsonist and fireman at the same time. And I just think that's I think
it's a really funny thing, but it's also like, yeah, if I thought that was what a guy was doing, that would be my number one priority, would be stop that guy.
Baldwin does such a great thing where he drags out the T in Hunt.
Yeah.
When he goes, Hunt.
He really gives him that like reverence.
Adds a little sting at the end of it, and it makes him feel like mythological.
It really does.
Which he has, earned that.
Yeah, we're 5 movies. He's done the impossible at least 5 times.
Yeah,
minimum.
A few times. There have been a few impossible missions.
Yeah.
And then he has another. Maybe my favorite joke is him going, he says, like, start your watch, Brent, because this is Hunt's last day as a free man. Cut to 6 months later.
I remember when that title card hit in theaters, everyone was laughing so hard.
It's a great joke.
All 7 of us. Like, it was just like...
There's a lot of that. And they do it in 4, they do it in 6 too, but this one really shines where it's like, there's a lot of like editing based jokes.
Yeah.
Like the way that we cut to a certain thing that makes it funny.
Yeah.
And this kind of being, I think, Exhibit
pretty
A.
prime example of that. How do we feel about his man on the run beard in this?
I'll read you what I wrote. Cruz's fake beard is so fucking funny. I think it's hilarious.
This is like the worst I think facial hair has ever looked.
I don't think he speaks with it because I'm assuming that if he did, it would just fall into dust. Like,
I imagine
like,
it'd be like, achoo. Like
it literally, it's like you can tell that Cruise is like keeping. I think it's a fun thing.
It's a fun thing, but it looks like the kind of beard that like a Looney Tunes character would get because they blew like someone's fur off. Like, you know, like it'd be like Sylvester the Cat's, like there'd be an explosion that just rips his fur clean off, and then Yosemite Sam would have that beard over his actual beard.
Yeah, like it's like a SpongeBob bit where it's like 15 minutes later, and it's SpongeBob with a fake beard, and he's like, "Where'd that come from?" And he pulls it off,
rips it off.
I think it's funny. I've never.
Ethan's a theater kid. I can imagine him just putting that on with like glue.
Oh yeah.
Moments before.
Well, that's why I say like you know, he's not speaking because I'm sure his like mobility is like terrible.
He's like, I gotta get into character as Man on the Run.
Yeah. Red leather, yellow leather. He's like,
Red
sit in solemn silence on a dull dark dock. Some theater jokes for people who are listening.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Yeah, you know Cruz is running zip zap zop with his team.
Oh yeah,
and you know Ving is like king.
Him and Benji in the back being like, zip zap zip zap.
Yeah, Benji's like, I don't want to play pterodactyl again.
They're like, my movie.
Yeah. Okay, now this has become the improv based podcast.
Everyone's like, they did the impossible. They made it a theater show.
That's right. Ethan's going to Alec Baldwin. He's like, can I get a location?
Anyone. Beirut, here we go.
But yeah, so obviously they cut to
Vienna, the opera,
to Cuba. They think that they've gotten him, and then Hunt is in Paris, which I think is a fun reveal. Again,
how many times has he gone to Paris? Because the first movie's not in Paris, right? When they start?
No, but he goes to Paris. He goes to Paris in 6.
Yeah, I know he goes to Paris in 6. So that's going to be 2 for the franchise total. But I feel like he's in France a lot.
I don't know. I think it's just those 2. I'm trying to think. Or no, is 1 there in Paris at some point?
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
If you guys were watching these movies better than we were,
yeah, let us
let us know.
We record these, it's been some time.
We'll look it up. We'll spend some time. We'll see if anyone.
But yeah, I love. Again, shout out to Jeremy Renner in this movie. I think doing a great job. When they realize that Ethan's not there, he's sitting, he's watching the monitor. He gives a little smirk. Yeah, I think that's very, very, very fun. And yeah, Ethan is unstoppable. He's
literally,
literally a ghost. You know what I mean?
Like literally. What was I gonna say? What do I have here? I have maybe not. Okay, no, it's coming up. We're not there yet. Never mind.
No.
I had a fun note that I can't wait to do, but I thought maybe we passed it, and I was like, oh, if we passed it, then it's too late to go back.
Is it that we cut to Simon Pegg back to his old ways behind the computer, but he has now picked up sponsoring Dell products and Halo 5?
Yeah. Homie was like, oh,
pretty good. I have not seen that was not topped until Godzilla X Kong with that one shot of the Volkswagen. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember that.
Where it's like, let's go, guys.
And drop a car commercial.
Just massive wide shot of the
car. I'm like,
car.
sorry, when did they start doing ads in the middle of movies?
Yeah.
It's like the like those like Chilean ads for Star Wars that were happening.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where they're
that where they're like, oh, this was your father's lightsaber, and then it just cuts to someone cracking open a cold one.
Those are great. I have no problem with that. Into that, very funny.
Someone should do that where they open the drawer and then it's just the Chilean beer. Like,
yeah, they're making the mask and they accidentally make like, I don't know, fucking Ottoman and it's like a Home Goods ad.
They're like, oh no.
But yeah,
Google autocorrect. I accidentally built furniture.
Benji, we see picked up again kind of the emotional core of this movie.
Yeah. He has to be interrogated about the whereabouts.
His weekly polygraph.
Weekly polygraph.
How do you take I think maybe they actually say it later in the movie, but obviously they keep checking back to the polygraph that it's stable, right? That Benji's telling the truth. And then at the end, he gives the look to the screen. You see a little spike.
Yeah. I think it's that thing of like, or like, sorry, what was the question?
Like
in
do you
terms
take
of
that
the
as
interpretation of it?
Of like, has Ethan been in conversation with him the whole time? Or is Benji lying, but there is a little bit of truth to what he's saying of feeling maybe hurt by Ethan?
I think it's that thing of like, he actually is like hurt and that's why he's not failing. Like, I feel like he's probably given some kind of an assist, but in like the vaguest, I've posted certain things in a place where I know he can find it, but beyond that, like, we've not physically chatted about how they're tracking him and stuff.
Well, because obviously he goes to the opera, and when he talks to Ethan on the glasses,
because he wins free tickets.
Yes, wins.
Which if I was Benji and I got that, I'd be like, Ethan, like immediately.
I'd literally be like, it's Ethan or it's a scam.
Yeah, I
Like,
would be like, no, I didn't win. Like,
yeah, what? No.
Like, I don't know. Like,
I'd be like, yeah, sorry, credit line that's texting me. No, I didn't get this loan. I
Yeah.
doubt.
It's like the toll road scam. Do you
Yeah,
get those
yeah.
text messages right
I
now?
got one literally like 2 days ago, and I was like, don't trick me. I know what's going on.
They're like, you've won 2 tickets to the opera in Vienna, but we're gonna need you to go get a bunch of gift cards.
Look, listen. If it was like, hey, you've won 2 tickets to meet Tom Cruise. If it was a scam, I'd probably still do it. I'd be like, yeah, I might
You
as
show
well
up,
find
you
out.
get off the train in a tux, and someone
Yes.
hands you a folder, and you're like,
Ethan. But yeah, when he hears Ethan's voice, he does have that like shocked reaction of like,
Yeah.
where the fuck have you been? Like,
He's
kind of thing.
You bitch.
Yeah, like what the hell, dude?
I thought we were together.
Give me a pair of fucking, blue light glasses, and all of a sudden we're,
Yeah, this
back
does not
to
make
business.
us cool. We're not cool. This is not cool.
Yeah, I'm helping you.
I like
but-
that joke he has. He's like, join IMF, see the world from a closet.
Yeah.
It's like,
Also, the little like book computer.
so cool.
There's so many cool gadgets in this movie.
I want that just for when I go on airplanes or I'm on the bus. Like, I would just go. I have a car.
Yeah.
I'd get on a bus just to like.
This is a little nerdy
Dun,
thing.
dun,
I
dun,
like
dun.
that it's also like e-ink. That's
Yeah.
like a pretty like deep cut for people. Like I don't know.
I don't know what that is. You got
E-ink. It's like Kindle screen technology.
Oh yeah.
And so when that came up, I literally have love e-ink computer book.
Yeah. No.
But it's a good time. I love the bit where he's like, so I didn't win tickets to the opera, and Ethan goes, no. Like,
No, he's like, I hate you.
he's so like, no,
I hate you.
Benji, come on, man. Yeah, I
Look,
hate you.
He's like, you're part of IMF. You're a field agent. Why would you win free tickets to anything? Our
Yeah.
lives objectively kind of suck, but rule because we do cool shit every day.
Man, the opera sequence is cool.
I think this is one of the coolest opera sequences like ever.
It's great. It's obviously Ilsa's already been introduced, but it's already a crazy.
That yellow dress is like iconic.
It's
And then like
iconic.
the flute gun.
The flute gun, and then she has like the railing gun.
Yeah, she's
She,
got
like,
like a
pops
rail
it
gun.
out.
Oh, this was the note I had, was that when everyone starts setting up, it's literally like 1 assassin, 2 assassin, 3 assassin, 4. Like it's
Literally.
like a Dr. Seuss book.
Red
like
fish, blue fish.
red fish, green fish. Like
Um,
everyone's there with a gun. Everyone's here to kill the prime minister.
Yeah, blue is glue, red is dead. But yeah, like they're.
I also like that one of them looks like Dolph Lundgren in Rocky 4. Like we got a real Ivan Drago looking
Is it the guy that Cruz fights?
henchman. The who?
The guy that Cruz fights?
No, it's the one
The
Benji
other
ends up
one.
fighting. He comes in the security outfit, like
Yeah.
voided up, like I am here as backup. Like
That guy walks. If I'm just like someone at the opera, I see that guy, I'd be like, Jesus Christ.
I would be like, I think there's an assassin here.
like, oh my
I
god,
should tell security.
it's the biggest man I've ever seen.
That man's got the like literal like Swedish Easter Island head walking through the halls of the
Yeah.
opera.
Be like, you sir are impressive.
I'll be like, God damn, where'd they find you, homie?
I love like obviously like, and I'm this is not a diss, but Cruz is not like he's often we don't acknowledge the fact that he's not the tallest guy in the world, and I say that with love again, like respect Short King. Love the visual gag of doing the Biff Marty McFly thing with Cruz. I love just the general levels of that fight.
That whole sequence is so cool because it's like you and I have done theater. We've been backstage.
Yeah, the catwalk
It'd
or whatever.
It'd be fun to crawl around back there.
Oh yeah, I think Benji hitting the box and it adjusting levels feels a little.
I'm like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what's happening, but I'm
here for the like from a writing standpoint of like extra drama.
Well, I also
but
think just the staging of it is cool enough
it's
that
so
I'm willing
cool.
to.
And
be
then you have like
"Yeah,
a dude
okay."
actually doing opera in front of it. Like
Yeah, props to that guy, nailing it.
yeah.
But yeah, just Cruz nails the like look up as he realizes the guy's bigger, and
Yeah.
then he nails it again when the levels start to come up, and the guy pulls a knife, and he does like a, okay,
Yeah, he's like, 1 sec.
which makes
Very
me.
Indiana Jones kind of
This
stuff.
is what I wanted to pitch. I had something for you off air that I wanted to say. There's a series that I realize Cruz obviously has has almost genetically embedded himself to the Mission Impossible franchise,
Yes.
right? So if it was between doing what I'm about to pitch or keeping with Mission Impossible, I'm picking Mission Impossible 10 times out of 10.
Mhm.
But in watching this
Yes.
and in watching Fallout, which we'll get into
Yeah.
next week, I realized, and you know about the series more than I do, so maybe if you veto it, I will respect it. Cruz doing Uncharted
Okay, this was all I was thinking about today while watching it. Was
Would have been
that would have
perfect.
been like the tone of like Rogue Nation and Fallout is exactly what Uncharted was supposed to be.
That's what I could, and I'm familiar with the games.
Yeah,
I saw the
I
film.
actually 100% am for this. I think Cruise is technically too old to be playing that
Sure.
character, but like
I think in this era,
I think in this
it could
era
work.
it would have worked, I think, a lot better than Holland did. But even that being said, like they should have treated it like the stunts and like the action
That's what I was gonna
with
say.
the same, like they should have like took the playbook from this and applied it. Because I love Holland. I don't know that he was the best choice for Uncharted, but like I get it, he's a big movie star, so I'm not like inherently against it, but like that movie, those stunts should have been like this. It should have been like Rogue Nation with the like jumping and climbing up things, and especially like in the next one where you've got like crashing helicopters and hanging off mountains and shit. Like
Exactly.
That's what that movie series needed to be, is like what this is.
Yeah, it hit me, and I was like, I'm gonna bring this up in the podcast because Dave knows more about Uncharted than I do, but I feel like
and they have
maybe
in the
we
second
missed
game, not to get all the way to Dead Reckoning, but there is like a train falling compartment sequence in the second Uncharted game.
Well, also because Cruise,
like they almost lifted that directly.
Cruise can
if they didn't take it from Jurassic Park 2.
Cruise plays cocky so well.
Yes,
he's so good at that. Like you know, like he tries to do the kind of like, you know, adventure thing with the mummy, which doesn't work out.
No.
But it's like, if he had done Uncharted and we had Tom Cruise as kind of
that's
the
what
new
he should have done.
Indiana Jones, would have been really fucking cool.
That would have slapped so hard.
If I'm picking between that or Mission Impossible, I would rather have what we currently have. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, because we basically are getting that itch, but I'm like, if he's going to do more movies on top of it, like, let's slide that in there. But no, I'm actually 100%. I didn't realize that's where you're going to go with it.
That's what I was
dead ass thinking, like, that's what this needed, was that.
Yeah. I think Uncharted starring Tom Cruise would have been killer.
That would have worked really well.
Yeah, well,
let me get my vote. Like,
maybe in an alternate universe, or this is my active pitch right now.
Instagram poll.
Yeah, let's go.
Should Tom Cruise have been in Uncharted?
Yeah, who'd play? Is it Sully?
No.
This is why I'm saying I don't know too much about
character's
these
Nathan
games.
Drake. Sully is
no.
like...
I mean the other guy.
Oh, the other guy, the one that Mark Wahlberg.
The one that Mark
playing?
Wahlberg.
Yeah,
plays.
it's Sully. So that is Sully.
I was gonna say who would play Sully.
I was gonna say you're thinking Tom Hanks, bro.
Well, the joke I was gonna make was we should get Sully to play Sully and have Tom Cruise.
Yes.
You know, because also, again, important to note, not a crash, a forced water landing.
Yes.
I just want to make that clear.
We need to make that clear.
Also, the official stance of this podcast is that it's a forced water landing.
Yes. Every episode is a forced water landing.
But yeah, getting
especially
back to
in this economy.
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we're all kind of holding on to the side of a plane that's taking off, if you will.
You said that we were setting up that you have a trip for the Bay planned. I hope that's not.
No, not yet. But hey, maybe it'll get to that.
Like bird strike.
But the opera sequence, I think is really great.
Sick.
I love the way he has to solve the two different people targeting the Chancellor.
And it's also the thing of like, what is happening? Who's the bigger threat? Who's doing? And then I'm gonna go for the shoulder shot. Like, so clutch.
Oh yeah. So we go through that. Ethan and Benji meet back, and we have the scene that we talked about earlier, where he's like, "I'm your friend. I'm sticking
Ethan's like,
around.
Go home. I can't protect you." And Benji's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
You can't tell me
Another
that.
thought. Go fuck yourself. I'm sticking around.
You've already screwed up my vacation plans, so I'm here to save the world whether you like it or not.
Calling out another great line when Ethan is showing the anti-IMF, as Simon Pegg puts it. When he says, "That guy was here. He's presumed dead." And Tom Cruise says, "Well, tonight I made it official." 10 out of 10 line, 2 thumbs up.
10 out of 10.
He
It's up
sells
there with
it.
Humpty Dumpty sat in a wall.
It really is. It doesn't have the camp of that, unfortunately, but it is a good time.
It is badass.
Love all of that.
The rule of cool has been achieved.
Yep.
So we get that, and then I guess from there they go to
Casablanca.
Yeah. To do the big water heist.
Yeah, we get
where Tom Cruise broke the record for holding his breath.
That's right, for 6 minutes.
6 minutes, which would be held until Kate Winslet comes out swinging. I think at 8.
Yeah, good for her.
Avatar: Way of the Water.
Good for both of them.
Let me look it up now.
Luther makes his re-entry to the movie.
Yes.
Luther and his hats fill my whole spirit with joy. Every time he puts that hat on, he's the coolest fucking guy in the room. I adore it.
He doesn't need the hat to be the coolest man in the room. It's
that's
Marsalis Wallace.
Yeah, Ving Rhames is the coolest fucking guy.
What does Marsalis Wallace look like?
But yeah,
we didn't get Sam Jackson in these movies, man.
Sam Jackson would be pretty good in these movies.
Why isn't he running IMF flag? Ethan Hunt.
Jackson as the secretary of the IMF would be pretty great.
Yeah, like when they like reinstate all this, like
Yeah.
I don't know, just food for thought.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's make it happen.
or could they do that? Is that too Nick Fury?
It is a little Nick Fury, but also
I don't
that's
hate
okay.
it though.
I
I
mean,
don't
hey,
care.
and also McHugh and Cruise have said that serializing these movies that they were kind of inspired by the MCU a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, that they were like that kind of gave us a confidence that we could do this. I think it's a good choice. I like that each movie is its own adventure, but
yeah,
also
but I like that we're starting to bring in like that we're acknowledging the continuity of things.
Well, I think what's also cool, and I think we've kind of come into this narrative as we
Mm-hmm.
get into the final reckoning, that as Ethan has gotten older, that it almost feels like his consequences are starting to catch up to him
Yes,
a little bit,
which is really fun.
and I don't know how intentional that is, but I think that's I think it's become the narrative.
Well, it is. It is like funny that like this is like what Christopher McQuarrie said that like when he got the job to direct this, he sat down and was like, okay, I think I just want this to be like sort of like the like I want to reference that. I kind of want this to be like a throwback movie to every big thing we've done, but like better. Like let's sort of like not reboot, but like let's redo some of the hallmarks. Like why not? Like
well, like Baldwin.
It's like an Easter egg movie almost.
Baldwin references Langley that he's like, I've been in the CIA so much that I remember the knock list thing.
Yeah, I remember when they broke in and then they went rogue, and then they broke in and then they went rogue.
Yep. And then his hair was longer, and then it was shorter, and then he was rogue, and then he was not.
Then he was married, then he wasn't married.
Then he wasn't.
Anyway, I think he's the villain.
Yep. But, and then obviously the water heist is kind of the first one.
Yes.
It
Also, I
feels
looked
like
it
a
up.
heist
Kate
again.
Winslet did break the record at 7 minutes.
Good for her. That's fucking
A whole ass other minute.
crazy.
Why?
I mean, also like the fact that anyone
What are these mutants with these lungs?
Yeah, the amount of training. Good. That's unbelievable. Way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think.
Did you hold your breath during the water sequence when you watched it? Did you try to see if you could keep up with him?
Did you?
I say yes. You're gonna judge me?
No. If you said yes, I was gonna say yes. I did not.
Yes, I got 2 minutes.
I was eating some corn dogs.
I got to I got to him like getting into the tank. Like, I didn't get very deep. I went, who am I kidding? The record's 6 minutes.
I used to be a swimmer. I'm not anymore. I don't have that same
Back in
ability.
your water polo days.
No. Oh yeah. Well, hey, that's the story for another time. But what a fun sport.
Dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, I love that we're going back to it being a heist. We get to do the whole like, oh great, like Benji being like, oh cool, I get to wear a mask.
And then they're like, no, you don't. And he's like, damn it.
Well, this is the stuff that
they spike him.
This is the stuff that's best about the Mission Impossible stuff. That's right. There really are some egg beaters. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other. That's what it is when you're kicking your legs.
Oh, is it really?
It's keeping above. Yeah. It's
I didn't do water polo, mister.
Yeah. See, I'm backing it up. I
actually just made that joke out of nowhere. Did you really play water polo?
I was a swimmer for like 5 years.
Should I accuse you of something you actually did?
I didn't actually. I should actually add. I didn't fully play water polo. I did some mock games. I did conditioning for like 3-ish months.
Okay. So you're just like
5 days a week. Yeah.
Did you have like the G.I. Joe like V?
I was doing all right.
You want to do a men's fitness? What's in your fridge, bro?
Oh, well, right now it's Celsius energy drinks, frozen corn dogs,
Hot
and
Cheetos.
Egg bites. Like, I'm not a testament of fitness. But you do what you can. Unfortunately, I'm not walking around with the Tom Cruise 6-minute holding his water under breath, kind of thing. How do you feel actually about that stunt?
The stunt, it's one of those things I really like it narratively, like the way it's cut together, but it's kind of hard to tell
that it's
the
real.
Movie magic of it all.
Yeah.
Like it's I think because they end up having to stitch together so many elements. And I watched like a whole behind the scenes, like that is him.
Yeah,
doing
totally
all
doing
of that.
it. Yeah.
But it is just that thing of like, it's kind of hard to appreciate this one. It's kind of like the water tank in the first movie, where it's like, yeah, objectively what he's doing is actually insane. He could get swept away and cut with so much glass and all these things. But it's kind of hard to feel the danger on this one.
It reminds me.
But the drama of like, oh, he might actually like drown is like there. I feel it, but I do feel like I'm watching an effect, I think, sadly.
It does.
And I just feel bad more for them because I'm like, the insane amount of work that went into pulling that stunt off is insane. And I feel like it's hard to clock it really.
Yeah.
For what it is.
I agree. I think the sequence is good. Like I think in the movie, I think it is a well,
Yeah.
staged and structured sequence. But looking at the stunt in and of itself, it reminds me of, and we'll get into it next week with Fallout, the Halo jump a little bit, where I'm like,
Yeah.
I can see where the stunt is going. I think it's impressive, and I'm not critiquing the movie necessarily.
Sounds
But
a little like you're critiquing. No.
yeah, I'm like, hey, fucking listen. No,
You just started this whole thing with you like threatening
yeah.
your girlfriend's dad.
Oh no, I'm not this antagonistic.
I remember when you broke into the CIA, though.
Allegedly, I can neither confirm nor deny without the secretary's approval.
Damn, am I becoming Alec Baldwin on this episode? Shit.
Oh no, Dave, careful. Yeah, I think it's good. I just think when we cut to some of the CGI stuff, it does take you out of the physical quality of the stunt. But I still think
that
it's
being
really
said,
fun.
it like still because they actually are underwater, it looks a lot better than some of the things you'll see on like Aquaman.
Certainly, when he's like actually pulling at the thing,
Yeah,
it's
like he does
that's
look like he's underwater. You know?
that's
like,
real.
It looks really good. I think it's I'm a sucker for heist movies, so these Mission Impossible movies give me so much life for so many reasons. But this underwater heist, I really like the setup and payoff of it all. And shout out to Ilsa. Like Tom Cruise goes in with like a wetsuit and like goggles, and then when he dies, she just like jumps in.
She just
the strength of a woman.
She's like, fuck. God damn it! Like
she's like, if you want it done right.
Yeah. Oh, I love. We'll continue forward, but I love the joke when they're talking about doing the underwater thing, and Benji is just being like, Ethan can do it. I've seen him do the craziest shit.
Well, it's
ever.
like funny that like in the context of the movie, he's like, I have to hold my breath for 3 minutes. Like that's impossible. And then the actor is doing it for 6 minutes for real, and you're just like, and you could find it if you look up the BTS, and maybe we should post it because it's kind of funny. You can find like a time lapse of the 6 minutes of him just like laying in the water, head down like a corpse, just like
he's literally like it's a meme, but he really is like built different. Like I can't think of another way to put it.
He like
than Tom
runs,
Cruise.
I don't.
Yeah,
he's a movie star. I'm not.
Yeah,
just built different. Thank you.
I
appreciate that. But no, like oh Lord, I lost my train of thought.
No, so Ilsa saves him.
Oh yeah, Ilsa
brings
saves
him
him.
back to life.
Brings him back.
And she takes the drive.
Yes, I guess we should say. What are they stealing again in this one? They're stealing essentially. They're doing the knock list heist.
Yeah,
from the first
basically
one.
a list.
It's wire stunt, but underwater now.
It proves the syndicate's existence, basically.
Yes. Yeah, because
right?
it's like the red ledger.
Yeah.
Of it all.
It's all the money.
But
and
do they know that, or they sort of know it?
They are kind of
or
aware
they suspect
of it, I believe.
it.
Well, Cruise,
or all they know is that what's in the vault is the thing that can bring him down and like prove it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you just said.
Yeah. It'll.
I'm overcomplicating.
But it is.
No
It's
reason.
kind of a version of the knock list.
Yeah.
There is and I say this again with love to the movies, but they do kind of not recycle, but there are similarities sometimes with the MacGuffins.
Yeah, the MacGuffins. There's only
movies.
so many things you can do in a spy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
overthrowing
bioweapon. It's a
governments,
bomb. Blah 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 blah. Going
it's
rogue.
It's a rabbit appendage.
Yeah, the rabbit's foot is kind of the one that's the most unique, just because
we don't actually know what it is.
It could be literally anything.
Yeah. Fun Easter egg with the keychain during the pole skate.
Yeah, I
there's
thought
an
that
actual
too.
rabbit foot. Like,
obviously Ethan comes back to life, and that gives us what I think is one of the highlights of the movie. Cruise getting to play like disoriented.
Yeah,
he gets to do his comedic instincts.
Just like I'm like, oh, that really jacked me up, man.
I love when he's like, I'll drive, and the theme starts to kick in as he like stumbles and falls.
Yeah, and then it stops like, well, maybe, I don't know, are we gonna do the theme? Should we do the theme?
And he's like,
let's not encourage him.
What is Benji?
Like the movie meta's like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, fuck. Well, like when Benji's like, you were dead like 5 minutes ago, and Cruz is like, what? No.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Just like, no, I don't think so. Yeah. Get in the car. Like,
get in the car. And then, fun fact, Tom Cruise is really doing the driving for this sequence with a scared shitless Simon Pegg riding shotgun.
So didn't the stunt coordinator say that he was like, I got the best driver, and it was Tom Cruise?
Yeah, it's like, so you're driving with the best. It's Tom.
Yeah.
Because we don't have anyone better. Which is awesome though. This car chase is so cool in the Beamer.
It
and then
is.
you also like, not to we kind of mentioned it, but the dynamic of like Brant and Luther
really
being like,
good.
I hate you, but let's go find our best friend now.
Yeah. I love Luther's head tilt where he's like, Ethan's my friend. If you are not on the same page, like he's like, I'll fucking kill you.
It's like everyone's like looking around like, Ethan's my best friend, but like Ethan's like, I hate to break it, but you guys aren't my best friends.
Yeah, Ethan's like,
Benji's my best friend.
yeah, I don't know. He's like, you're all buddies.
You're all my best friends.
Uh,
I love all my children equally.
I honestly though, if Ethan was to say that, I would believe him.
I know. He really, I mean, everyone looks at him like he's their dad. They're just like, Dad, what are we going to do? Dad, you can't do that. Like,
but
you're going to gamble? Like,
I love their Luther
to cure him of his gambling addiction.
And Brant's chemistry.
Which is prevalent. Sorry, that's a derail. But no, their chemistry's so funny. I'm like, they need to find a way to do a TV show that is just Renner and Rames.
It's one of those moments where I'm like, man, it's a bummer Renner's not in more of these. Because he's really shining in this. Like, I'm like, he's having a lot of fun. I feel like because we're not doing the this guy might replace Tom Cruise thing. Like in
he really does take a back seat.
Yeah,
unfortunately, he just becomes like the voice of reason.
But I think it's a good spot.
No, but
him.
he's so good at it because he's so good at using humor to reiterate the stakes of what they're about to do. Of like, so let me get this straight: we don't have blank, we don't got this, we're shit out of luck.
Well,
I'm so proud of us.
I literally
forgot what
have
the whole line is, but
he says I. He doesn't say I'm. This is such a good choice. He instead of saying I'm so proud of us, he goes, I am so proud of us. He says, I am. And I think making like not conjuncting that,
stressing it out just a little bit,
is exactly the kind of rhythm that you need to make that line funny. But yeah, when they meet Ethan and Benji and they kind of like look at each other, I think is fun. They do the
when they're like driving meme. And then they're like, hey,
yep. Love the car flip.
Car flip. The car flip is great. Before that, there's that moment where he hits the e-brake and he takes out like 6 dudes on a motorcycle.
Oh, that's so cool.
One of the coolest looking stunts I've ever seen. Like that actually could be like one of my favorite stunts.
I remember it being in the trailer actually. And I remember being like, oh yeah, this movie's gonna rip, and it did.
The movie does in fact rip.
It does in fact.
It do be ballin' so hard.
But then obviously he gets on the motorcycle.
Yeah. We get to say the reason all this is happening is because Ilsa has
stolen the list.
Teehee, aren't I a stinker? And she like zooms off with the list herself.
I live outside of your narrative.
She's like meep.
Yep. Well, she does a little jump scare for Ethan. She fully gets off of her bike and just like stands in the middle of the road.
She got ice water veins, bro.
Hey, I mean, props to her. It works.
It totally does.
Totally works.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she's awesome. That is so slick. Just being like, oh, I'm gonna use this against you. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But yeah, no, we got the BMW chase is great. We got the flips, the motorcycle stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, we get the Ilsa obviously. Then she takes everything back to British intelligence.
She takes it back. We're introduced to a man who eats rats in Nosferatu.
Is that that guy?
That's that guy, right?
Oh my god! Well, Atlee is his character.
Yeah, Atlee. I don't. I think it's Knock in Nosferatu.
I did not realize that was that guy. We were talking about Nosferatu.
We're big fans of Nosferatu.
Yeah, good movie. Robert Eggers.
Robert Eggers.
Good filmmaker. Who knew?
Really good filmmaker.
Yeah.
I think he's 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't. I actually haven't seen the
Lighthouse.
So I need to watch
I haven't seen the North one either.
Yeah. I have no excuse. It's on Peacock right now.
I know. We should watch it. What are we doing?
Are we sponsored by Peacock? Should I say that? If I say it enough, can we get a sponsorship?
Well, I get, who knows?
I'm offering a free membership to Peacock to myself.
Yep. Good for you.
I can't afford to do it for the fans.
Yep. We will, let's do it. Let's talk about the new Bridget Jones movie.
Do we have to?
I'm just saying it's out there.
If the people want it, I'll do it. I'm not the biggest Bridget Jones fans, but if you guys are, I'll do it for you. I care what the people think. To be fair, I've only seen the first one, so I don't know.
Good on them for making
good for Renee Zellweger just doing these. Yeah. So she takes it back. You get the reveal. I think. Because did we know she was MI6 at that point, or is this like the reveal that she is?
He brings it up. He's like, my guess is you're British intelligence.
Yeah. It's like a shot in the dark, and then she's like, maybe.
Yeah, pretty good shot.
She's like, I don't know. Where was the first date? The opera. Like, I don't know. Ask me over to pizza next time.
And Atlee also basically
second date bike riding doesn't go great.
Nope.
Crashed out pretty hard on the second date.
Oh yeah, they're off to a bit of a rocky start, but that's okay.
They went for a swim first.
They're just a couple of crazy kids. But Atlee,
he's trying to show off. He drowns.
Kind of the creator of the Syndicate.
Yes, he is the creator, which I think is officially confirmed in like the the big switcheroo at the end.
Yes.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Atlee objectively is like the main. I guess it's not the main, but he's like the second antagonist of it all.
Yeah.
Um.
And then we move forward.
Sorry, I feel like I derailed that really hard.
No, you're fine. I'm thinking about where we are in the plot. And I think obviously, so she kind of she talks with Atlee, she talks with Sean Harris, and then she kind of reconnects with Ethan and the team. They have that little sit down together. There's like a weird innuendo joke that Tom Cruise makes, which like I think they have good chemistry, but it is weird to hear Tom Cruise make like innuendos.
What was the innuendo?
He says, I have it written here. I might cut this part out because it's just weird for me to say out loud. He's referencing the motorcycle chase, and he says, "You sure can ride." And I think that's really weird and gross and bad, and I don't like it.
I didn't even clock it.
It happened, and I was like, this is uncomfortable. I don't like that. Let's see. So at this moment, yes, he meets with Rebecca Ferguson at the cafe. She clocks the whole team. Everyone kind of gives their like nod to her
like,
to be
hey,
like,
I'm in this movie too.
Yeah, you're not just
That's
talking
our
with
best
Cruise.
friend / dad.
Yeah, just so you know.
You can't have him.
We're kind of
I don't need
unit.
a stepmom.
Yeah, and they take Benji.
They take Benji.
Big deal. He's our sweet boy, and we love him so much, and he's
Sweet
the emotional
baby boy Benji.
core of this movie.
Yes.
And then we are introduced to British Prime Minister Tom Hollander.
Tom Hollander, not Tom Holland.
No, not Tom Holland. That residual check thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, bummer.
Real bummer. He's also what's his face? He's in Pride and Prejudice.
I haven't seen Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, you haven't seen Pride and Prejudice?
I just had this
That
conversation
movie
with a
slaps.
coworker. I said that to a coworker, and they were like,
so
"What?
good."
Like stunned.
No, genuinely.
I feel bad. I do want to watch it.
Shout out to my sister-in-law, Courtney Vera.
Nice.
Shout out to the fan bams. She showed us Pride and Prejudice for the first time, and that movie slaps. It is so good.
He's in Tom Hollander also in White Lotus season 2. He's in a bunch of
He's
stuff.
also the bad guy of Pirates of the Caribbean.
He is. He's great.
East India Trading. He's a great villain in that. But he has like line in Pride and Prejudice where he's just like, "Lovely potatoes we have here,"
dude.
Something like that.
Me, every time I go to fucking I don't know, Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's. Getting some fries.
I was trying to think of what my favorite French fry is, and it took me a while to figure it out.
Raising Cane's good. Yeah.
Cane's is good.
In-N-Out's got some good fries. They're different though.
In-N-Out's gotten
I'm a slut for McDonald's fries.
better.
Though. Like I'll go through, just get a Sprite.
I like. You gotta eat them quick though. Is my only thing. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't take me long to just suck that down.
Valid. Red Robin.
I'm in that age where my metabolism's probably going to start to slow down, so I got to enjoy this while I can.
Yeah. Hey, fair enough. I love a waffle fry.
Waffle fry's good.
I love a steak fry.
Yeah.
In-N-Out
frites.
I don't love a shoestring, but if it's with like a garlic parmesan or something, that sounds too bougie, but like if we're putting like a little bit of something.
How dare you?
I know, I'm not trying to fuck you guys over.
I haven't eaten today, but
yeah, sorry.
We're like, there's this subliminal messaging to go get garlic fries.
Yep.
People are in their cars like,
just like very Josie and the
e-brake.
Pussycats being like, get garlic fries, get garlic fries.
Get garlic
I am a
fries.
beetle, Paul is dead.
Listen to We Need One More.
Yeah,
Listen to We Need One More.
Exactly. So follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on TikTok. Go to our Discord.
Peacock sponsor us. But yeah, I think he's a good addition.
Yeah, he's really funny. Honestly, I'm like, they should find a way to like do some like inter-country relations again and bring back him because I just think he's a really funny actor.
I will say, moving into, because obviously now they're like, well, we have to get the British Prime Minister to out the existence of the syndicate, basically.
Yeah.
When
such a fun.
I forgot
scene.
which one was Tom Cruise.
I did too.
I thought it was Renner.
I thought it was the Prime Minister. I thought they were faking out Atlee.
Oh yeah.
And then when it was revealed that Atlee was Tom Cruise for that whole conversation, I was like, oh, and it's like funny because I've seen this movie like 4 times.
Yeah, same. I've seen it like
and I forget
2 or 3 times
who it is. But yeah, that reveal is so satisfying. It's like, oh yeah, this is Mission Impossible.
Well, because now we get to talk about the moment that we've been
baby,
referencing.
A triple.
Fuck yeah, dude. But we get to talk about the moment we've basically been talking about this whole series.
Yeah.
That Baldwin gets that killer monologue.
Yeah.
Getting to say that, Hunt, he says that he's probably, what does he say? Are you pulling it up?
I'm pulling it up.
Not to spoil, but this is the moment where he gets the living manifestation of destiny. And this is where he's doing his like Jack Donaghy 30 Rock thing.
Yeah.
But he's channeling it into this like I don't know, he fits. I mean, he's Jack Ryan, right? He's the first Jack Ryan.
Yeah, that's true. I
So
forgot
like
about that.
he fits into this genre pretty easily. And I love the like darts having like kind of like a, I don't know if it's truth serum or what it is, but it
It's
adds
literally
good
a truth serum.
beats of comedy of them being like, this is now, they're like kind of neuralizer being like, these are now the events that happened, and Tom Hollander being like, that's a yes, that's it. Thank you for doing that.
I have it.
Go for it.
Should I do like full? Should I go full Baldwin for this?
Do as much as you can.
All right. Let me see. Nanny poo poo. Jumping into Boss Baby. Hunt is uniquely trained and highly motivated, a specialist without equal, immune to any countermeasures. There is no secret he cannot extract, no security he cannot breach, no person he cannot become. He has the most likely anticipated this very conversation is waiting to strike in whatever direction we move. Sir, Hunt is the living manifestation of destiny and he has made you his mission.
God, it's so good, dude. Literally in my notes, everything's written like, you know, like not in all caps or whatever. It's just like little type notes. And then in all caps, I just have living manifestation of destiny, motherfuckers, so like that. Yeah, it's the best. And then when Ethan reveals himself and he goes, Hunt, like that, I'm like, yeah,
the
bro,
drama of
that's
it.
what
Like,
I'm talking
he's
about.
like, you motherfucker.
Well, it's that thing of like, oh my, everyone is aware. It's the moment where Baldwin realizes
he says it like Seinfeld and like meeting Newman, you know, like just like Newman.
Jerry, like kind of fucking.
Jerry, Ethan's on the run again. He's doing a rogue.
It's the Kramer in the red light, and he's like, it's a rogue nation.
We're getting a lot of
Jerry.
impressions out of me today.
We do impressions on this podcast. Successfully.
Successfully, yeah. We'll rank these out of 10. Well, I think that one was better than my Baldwin, but
and I like them both.
I would kill for a caramel macchiato.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, I mean, Cruise. I love Baldwin learning that Ethan is right.
Yeah,
it's a moment we get in all these movies where one character gets the moment to be like, oh shit,
dude was
Ethan
proven
Hunt
wrong
is a
so
legend.
hard he put in for a transfer. Like,
yeah, he was like, well, I guess I'm working for you guys
he's
now.
like, crap, I want to be on I want to be on the Chicago Bulls. Like,
yeah. It is interesting, kind of with I don't remember which one we were discussing, where we were talking about the fact that the action is not done at this point, but we've kind of reached the peak of the action already with the water thing. After this point, it's a lot of talking in rooms.
It's a lot of talking. It's
which
some
I
good.
like.
There's some good drama,
not a
but I
problem.
will say the action does end up underwhelming, I think, in the final moments of this movie a little bit. And they're great fight sequences, but when you're following up the motorcycle chase, the underwater sequence, like you said, the plane sequence, like it's like nothing they do in that like chase at the very end quite tops it. And so I love the ending of this movie, but I also feel a little underwhelmed somehow.
This is where I think,
and I still come out of this movie being like, hell yeah.
Hell
but
yeah.
like, it's weird the way this movie sort of wraps up.
It's a little smaller. It's emotional. I mean, I do really like the scene at the dinner table. I think Pegg plays the shit out of it. I think he's so good.
Simon Pegg is so underrated as an actor. He is so good.
And he's good in all the movies. He's, I think, especially good in this movie.
Especially good in this one.
I think it is a little... do you think Ethan memorized all the bank codes?
No, I think he memorized maybe 3 of them.
I know that
bullshit.
He's like, you know, who knows? Because I'm like, it is objectively would be silly if he's like, I did. If we proved that he memorized those.
Yeah.
But I agree that I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
I think he memorized like 2 or 3, which, because you see him, he like looks at the screen and he goes through and you see him like doing some photographic memory stuff, and then he like pulls it out and he like drills it really quick.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of badass. I also will say when they finally do save Benji and then the guns like come out, when he like picks up, because they're like, kill Ilsa, he's just like, boom, human shield. I am the manifesto now.
Yeah, you can't fuck with me now.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's so baller.
It is. And I mean, the last big action beat is Ilsa versus the Bone Doctor.
Yeah.
Which is great. I think it's so much fun.
Which is great. It's nothing like watching her spider up a dude's
kick ass.
Just a giant dude, and just like, bah.
Yeah, she gets, it's just like stabs him in the
back. I think she stabs him in the
like
neck or something and takes him down finally.
Love that.
R.I.P. the Bone Doctor.
Yeah, legend.
That's like a top 5 villain for me, I think.
The Bone Doctor, we don't talk about the Bone Doctor enough.
Not enough bones on this podcast.
Where's the Bone Doctor spinoff? Where's the animated
Are you
prequel?
saying you need another, but just Bone Doctor?
Yeah, where's like the Grey's Anatomy where we learn how the Bone Doctor becomes the Bone Doctor?
Do you think he evolves into the entity?
Okay. I'm speaking to Christopher McQuarrie right now, and people watching on the video, you can tell that I'm looking in the camera. I'm telling this for the people in the audio.
We'll punch in on the
Christopher McQuarrie. If the entity is either the Bone Doctor, Emilio Estevez, or fucking, I don't know. Pick another one. Just name
Jonathan
someone.
Rhys. No.
If it's
John Rhys Davies.
If it's
no,
if
what,
it's
who's
the
in 3?
Australian from 2. If it's, I feel so bad I don't remember your name right now. If it's one of those 3, I will make it my number 1 movie of all time. I'm dead. I will 100% serious.
The people have spoken. The people have spoken.
I am calling you out with love. Calling you out on a movie that you've definitely already finished. If it's one of those 3, I'll cry. If it's Bill Maguire,
hey,
I'll cheer. Anyways, let's stop me being really dumb and stupid.
I want it. I'm here for it.
I would love to see it.
But no, so okay, so that pretty much like gets into the finale of the movie where they trap him in a box.
Love that.
Where he's like, I've thought of everything, and then it's like, JK, I thought harder, baby. But we're all like,
yeah, I'm 8 steps ahead. Well, I'm 8.5.
He's like
bitch.
3/4 steps ahead of you.
I love that he gives him the same like knockout gas.
He's like, I went to Home Depot, baby.
Yeah, he's like, you ever heard of plexiglass?
Yeah, he's like, this is for record store girl.
Ethan really, fuck yeah. In
I
honor,
like that he just knocks the box over to
he
it.
kicks the shit out of it.
Disrespect. It's like, you don't fuck with my stun. Like,
I love the look he when Solomon Lane is like, it's the knockout gas is getting him, he's falling, and he's like, shooting at the glass, which I think is such a great bit.
Yeah.
That Ethan is just like no blinking, just like, I fucking got you.
Yeah. It is fun that they all kind of come out of like the shadows, like Batman, just like,
agreed.
We got you, you son of a bitch. Like, it's
We're the
so
IMF.
satisfying.
Yeah. The final scene of the movie of Baldwin and Renner, I don't want to use the word underwhelming, but it's maybe the quietest.
It's certainly the quietest ending
of all the movies.
Yeah, well, because they ended with a gag.
Yes, which is fun.
Yes.
And Baldwin becoming the secretary, I think, is a cool. It's a good final nail.
It's
in
a
the
good
coffin.
fine. Yeah.
But yeah,
no,
good time, man.
good time. So
Love the bit of the I will neither confirm nor deny. I think
they
nailed that bit. They nail it.
So time traveling back 10 years ago to 2015.
That's right.
You walk out of this theater. I think we kind of spoiled this when we started this conversation, but where were you on meeting one more?
I was
Mission
skipping
Impossible.
out of
5
this mall.
in. We're redoing some of the stunts.
I think, again, kind of referring to narrative runway, right? The thing that we've discussed a couple times on this podcast. This movie reestablishes the IMF. It sets us back up.
They it shuts down, and then they're like.
Granted, the movie establishes that the IMF is being disbanded within this movie. It's not like it's something that's been carried over from other movies.
They're like, there's a merger.
But it does feel like we've kind of reestablished, I think, Hunt in a fun way. I think specifically Ilsa is the character where I'm like, I would need one more because I want to see what happens with her.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to see them. I want to see them be a couple. Come on,
come
on,
kick ass together again.
I believe in love.
Absolutely. But yeah, and obviously, Sean Harris is the one villain that doesn't die.
The first villain to not die at the end of the movie.
Which obviously comes a huge repercussion in Fallout, which is part of what I think makes that movie so great. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. 100%. I think we need one more.
I agree. I'm just like, no, like these stunts are so cool, and they found a way to outdo yourself and sort of re-inject the whole thing with like a whole new life. It's just like, yeah, hell yeah, I absolutely want one more.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah. Any final thoughts? Anything else?
I know I at the beginning of this podcast issued a formal apology to my ex-girlfriend's dad for sitting them down and showing them that behind-the-scenes video. And while I still maintain that apology, I think I also, I do still back up the fact that Tom Cruise deserves to be celebrated for how incredible his stunt work is.
Yes.
He is kind of like, they reference Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton in the behind the scenes a lot.
Yes.
And I think
you can kind of see
the
references in that.
And I think they've picked up that baton beautifully. And I think it's something that when you're watching these movies, I think they answer they answer for themselves. Their need of existence. I think, despite the fact that this is IP or blah blah blah, you know, whatever you want to say, like this is the kind of thing where it's like a Barbie or whatever, where it's like, yes, maybe this is a pre-established franchise, but we are taking care of it. We are treating it with reverence. We're also really trying to do stuff that's new and interesting and exciting.
Yeah. Even when they're redoing stuff, they're doing it in a way different ways. So it never really feels like they're treading over or they're repeating themselves, even when they technically are.
Yeah. And I think
it's kind of magical.
I think these movies, and we'll see what happens after the final reckoning, but I think with Cruise, it's like, if we need every couple years Tom Cruise to remind us like how
cool movies can be.
Yeah, how good action films can be. Him, George Miller, stuff like that. Like I will champion that.
Chad Stalansky and all those guys just being like, this is cinema.
Yeah, it's like we need to show again. We talked about it with 4 and we'll talk about it in 6, but their use of wides with the stunts to be like, this is fucking happening. Like we don't need to cut. We don't need to shake this up. Like, you're watching, action is impressive, you know what I mean? And it's story driven. And I think they're showcasing, these are some of the best examples of showcasing that. Yeah. So, I both apologize and don't at the same time because I love.
We never apologize on that, but this, I love these movies too. So I'm definitely in the camp for one more. And I think that's the episode.
That's right. Next week, we'll be watching Mission Impossible Fallout.
Mission Impossible 6, the Fallout. Remember to be watching along with us, guys.
Yeah.
Remember to join the Discord. Tell us what you think. Tell us what your thoughts are. Post your letterboxes. Maybe we'll start posting some of those up on the Instagram and stuff.
We talk about these movies every week, but ultimately the goal is to talk about these with you guys. So
so come on, join the community. Join the We Need One More family. So,
let us know what you think and get ready to watch Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
A movie
if you're burned out now, too bad. We got 3 more.
Strap in.
Strap in. We're starting the next trilogy now.
The fallout of all your good intentions, kind of a thing.
That was good.
Thanks, man. Hey, we were doing impressions, so I figured we'd end it on an impression.
Feel free to rank those impressions too. Who had the better lane? We already know my Baldwin's probably at the bottom of this one, but
I like it.
All right, but we'll see y'all next week.
That's right.
Mission Impossible Fallout.
Thank you for listening to We Need One More.
Be sure to follow us on socials like TikTok and Instagram at WNOM Podcast to stay up to date on upcoming episodes.
And feel free to join our Discord community where you can share your thoughts on the movies we're watching together. That's going to be at WNOM Podcast server with a link in the bio.
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. That's the best way to support the show and to let us know that you need one more.
We'll see you next week. This podcast is produced by Pilot 9 and 9 Ball Creative.